Okay.
YouTube. I don't see it yet. Oh, you haven't like hit the buttons.
It's live.
Where?
It says it's live on YouTube. It says it's connecting
Don't see it yet.
LinkedIn.
Thank God. All of our
Facebook,
professional. Okay, it
Instagram.
is live. I
Hold
see
on.
it live on here.
Okay, I'm gonna hit go live. Oh shit! It's that weird thing that Instagram does.
It's inverted us, didn't it?
No. It's like that. Like my view is like.
But it
Remember, it's
did
supposed to be
invert
wide.
us. We're like mirrored, I think.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
Monsters, just two monsters.
Wait, I always think when it inverts that I'm like,
Ah!
the one side is like a jump scare.
Okay, I'm gonna set up this
Oh.
Facebook one. I say that. I'm gonna set up Facebook. Okay, let's
I'm gonna go ahead and attempt.
Okay, Lyndsay, you hold the floor, hold the court.
Okay, I gotta find the cat. Elvis. Well, I don't think anybody's here yet. Wouldn't we see if someone was here?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Yeah. But does it
Okay.
where does it show that somebody's here? Oh, one watching now. It's probably me. Oh my God, it's myself.
Okay.
It's like when I go to our notification history and it's all me from my poetry account commenting on the agency as though I'm like a viewer.
Don't depress yourself. Okay,
And it will get those notifications from later that's like your account is getting more action than normal. And then it's like
Lyndsay, that's like the most
7.
depressing thing.
That's
Getting
the
more.
worst one.
I look me and
So
you.
humble, so humbling. Oh, hey, where'd you go? What'd you say?
It'll be me and you. I was like 3 comments.
Yeah.
And it's just
Oh
us.
my gosh. And like
Okay,
us going
here we
back and
go.
forth.
Okay, here we go. I'm on I got Facebook going.
Okay.
I think I.
Welcome to.
Okay, hold on. I have to say.
If you're here and watching and you're not us, say
Create
hello.
live.
Oh, that's another thing we can prompt once
Say.
we're like really cooking with gas. We can ask people to say like who they are and where they are.
Yeah.
So we can steal their identity.
Yeah.
Just type in your name, the last 4 of your social, your mother's maiden name.
Hold on, Ken.
Do you think I should move down this way so you don't see the door and so you just see the whole gallery wall? Nice. How important is that? You're like hacking into the mainframe.
I'm like breaking
You're like
into a
smoke
bank
is coming out of your computer and I'm worried about. Okay, look, this is gonna be good. Oh yeah.
Of course it's Facebook. That's such bullshit.
Oh yeah.
That's
What
taking
is
me so long.
Does it seem like it's gonna do it?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm getting there.
Oh, you in?
I'm cooking. Okay.
The rest of me.
It's just there's like 30,000 things.
Steps.
Okay, complete post details.
They're like, in order to go live, you have to post a fake news article for the boomers. This is the toll to use Facebook.
Okay. Oh yeah, I had to do that, and then let's go live, baby, on Facebook. Here we go.
Okay. Let me see if it's.
Then I think we're live everywhere. Let me go to LinkedIn. Remember, it was like shut up really stupid last time.
Let me see. I don't see it live on our. Oh, but remember, I'm on. Let me look from my personal to see if Semiserious.
Oh, then remember it says like, thanks for joining our exclusive live broadcast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do. Can they? Feel free to share your question. Can they brand?
Oh yeah, the stupid thing on Instagram where if you
click, it's
huge. Either way, it's huge. That ain't good. That ain't right.
I'm gonna do play along with us on YouTube at Semiserious Agency.
Oh yeah, you have to change all the titles of stuff.
Yeah.
Do we?
I look. My thinking face is not.
Oh, don't even tell me. Look at mine. Allie, this is not good.
Why? What?
Why is it zoomed in on Instagram? Should we not be live on Instagram?
Is it? I thought it was only if you try to comment.
Now, when I just click on it, it just opens up right up like that.
Ah.
Oh boy.
Oh no, it's not supposed to.
That's not good. Yeah.
It is really. Should I end it?
Should we troubleshoot this?
It's supposed to.
Instagram.
Remember last
live
time we did it?
from-
It was only when you click. Hold on, check that
Yeah,
out
but this
again.
way. Go look. Is your phone in front of you?
Yeah.
Incorrect aspect ratio. Ensure you're streaming in a vertical aspect ratio, as Instagram's aspect ratio is vertical. An incorrect setting can cause zooming.
Yeah, I don't.
Additionally, check your Riverside layout settings to ensure fill mode is not selected.
There was no set. There was like nothing
to click.
There's nothing to click. Hold on.
There's nothing to click. Hey, come on.
Let me go to Semiserious. Semiserious is live. Where are they live at?
I want.
Oh no, it's good, Lyndsay.
You can see it?
I can see it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
I
trust
great.
thine eyes. Okay, so I'm good. I gotta change the title on YouTube. I don't even know where it's playing in YouTube right now. Oh, there she is. Okay. Welcome to our live
Just out in the world.
Oh my goodness.
Should I log into LinkedIn to make sure we're live there too?
Yeah, we should. I think we are. Yeah, I just can they? Can't believe I have to freaking manually do all this stuff. Hey, brand fancy.
Yeah, this is so strange. I wonder why.
That's okay. Look at this. I'll be right. Perfect timing. Play along with us in the comments. Okay, we're cooking. Okay, we're good, Lyndsay. We are. We're so
it's
good.
Happening.
It's happening everywhere.
1 minute. Welcome to our live show. That's what it says on YouTube. Is that what you wanted to say? Welcome to our live show.
I just changed it, so it should turn over in a second if you refresh.
Okay.
Geek Squad over here.
Stop.
Who brought the geek?
How many people of our 97 subscribers are coming?
That's a flood of 96 I've seen.
I forgot to tell my mom.
Oh my goodness. No, I deliberately didn't tell my mom because she'd probably be posting her bank account number in there. She had her social security number. I didn't put that. I don't know how it got on there.
How did that happen? How do you on?
Oh, wait, hold on.
How do you?
Someone said lurking because I'm working on Instagram.
Someone said it where?
On Instagram comments. Oh no, we got too many things to keep up with. Get your ass over to YouTube.
Play along with us.
Two-man show here.
But how on mobile can you play along? Oh well, I'm watching over here. Okay. Are you logged in as us on Semiserious and Instagram? Is that how you're seeing people saying shit?
I believe so.
It won't.
I clicked on it. I actually know I'm logged in as me.
No, yeah, you're as yourself. Yeah.
As myself, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell him hi.
All right.
Hello,
everybody. Hi. Okay. It's our first time going live.
Should I kick things off officially?
Should I leave a comment that's like, this looks so cool?
Yeah. Hype us up.
Oh my gosh, Caleb is watching. Hi, Caleb.
Caleb. It's the first time you've ever watched us do it.
This is so. He's like, what did she do again?
Welcome to your wife's business.
I just commented, this is so funny already.
Good.
I'm greasing the wheels.
That's good.
You just sort of have to like invite people in and then they'll be like, this is really good.
This is so good.
This is so great.
This is a fake it till you make it situation. Okay, should we I guess, welcome back to Can They Brand That? And this time it's Can They Brand That live? Like I've always hoped and dreamed about.
Yes.
And like we say in Can They Brand That, we're the only show to do what no one is asking for, which is brainstorm for an audience in real time. And we get to do it for you, for Caleb, for Lyndsay.
This is for Caleb, our most loyal fan.
Yeah.
And legally obligated to support me. So we're your hosts. I'm Lyndsay Sanders. That's Allie LeFevere. And we're the founders of Semiserious, which is the world's first humor branding agency. And we have that trademarked. So that's how you know it's true. But we've been doing this.
Fought for that.
We've been doing this for 9.5 years, almost 10 years.
Yeah. Just bananas.
Wow.
Back in a better time, we started.
We started this with just a pocket full of dreams and hope for the future. And now we've just got AI taking over everything. It's bleak out there.
It's bleak.
Nevertheless,
it's rough out here.
We improvise.
We used to say, nevertheless, we podcasted. But now it's a YouTube show. So we got to throw that tagline to the wayside.
Yeah, I know. I was like, wait, we used to say something funny.
So just as a reminder, if anyone hasn't watched the show before, you've been missing out. But our whole thing here is improvised branding. So basically we pick a brand that we either love and we would hope to work with one day, or that we think could stand to use some zhuzhing, or maybe they haven't done anything with their branding or their marketing or advertising or anything in years, and are kind of due for a modern take on it. Or just we give ourselves like funny prompts that we think would be hilarious to explore from a branding and creative perspective. And then we set the timer for 20 minutes and we riff as many ideas as we can. So we don't prep for the brand in any way. We don't do any research. We don't brainstorm ideas in advance. Of course, there are things that are coming to us because we obviously have to pick a brand in advance, but we're not doing any sort of prep work. And basically, this is just a free-for-all version of what we do with client projects. So with a client, we're working with them for weeks, months, sometimes years. And this is just off the cuff. Like, what can we do in an initial brainstorm for 20 minutes? It's a lot of stupid ideas. It's a lot of, sometimes they're really, really good ideas, or they have a good starting point. And that's the beauty of brainstorming, is like, you have to let everything cook, because it could turn into something, or could inspire each other to have a funnier, better, stronger idea. So yeah, that's what the gist of this show is.
Yeah. So why do we do this show? So we like to say that our big goal is to champion creativity and originality, especially in this era of AI slop. I don't know, we could be suckers, we might be wrong, but we really believe that the world and consumers specifically want human-made art and human-made ideas, and that is what matters. So we do this show to showcase that and to bring in other creative people. Our medium goal is obviously to get clients. We want to show brands what they're missing out on when they don't use fun as a strategy, when they use AI, when they don't use entertainment and humor. And we think they're missing out on a lot of fun, and fun means sales. And then finally, our small goal is just to add a little bit of levity and light to the noise, the news cycle, the world. Yeah. Things are sort of dark and bleak right now. And we hope that us having fun with each other and coming up with stupid ideas off the cuff can brighten your day a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, we get to laugh with each other every day. I mean, not to get too deep into our backstory, but like every day we're on the phone and we're riffing ideas and we're working on projects and laughing and playing and being silly. And I do think that there's something really special about being able to bring someone into that. If we can be a bright spot, or just allow you to play with us a little bit. We thought that was kind of the impetus for going live. We're like, God, we're doing all this in a silo. Yeah. Like, what if the people who have been supporting us for years or following along on our ridiculous agency journey, if we could like have them tag in and, share their thoughts and perspective and, wacky ideas. So yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately or fortunately, both of us have a small improv background. And I do think they're
the smallest.
I think improv. Although remember, I almost graduated.
Yeah,
I really almost went all the way to the top, and then I ditched out.
Yeah, I did just two levels. I did 2 levels. And I realized, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm not trying to get on SNL here. Bye-bye.
What is happening? But well, I do think that.
No, I was just going to say, when we had to do Caligula on the ground and we were writhing our bodies on the ground in improv class and touching everyone. And I was like, I don't know if this is what I thought I was signing up for. I think I'm good.
I think I'm set. Yeah. I was just going to say that I think improv has a lot of really good principles in teamwork and ideation, and being willing to chase surprising or unexpected or bad ideas. And this show really helps us, I think, fine tune that muscle, which is what I think a lot of bigger agencies don't have either the time, the patience, the space, or the willingness to take that risk or to spend the time being like, what is the dumbest way we can promote this thing? Because I think that often leads to solid gold.
Well, and I think for us too, is that our whole angle with our agency is our tagline is fun sells, and our whole shtick and what we really built this agency around was the idea that like humor is such a humanizing, delightful, engaging, amazing way to build, brand engagement and brand rapport and connect with your audience and be memorable and distinct and just all the things that you could hope and dream that your brand becomes. And humor is just an incredible, very underutilized vehicle to get there. And our entire agency is built around that, which is why improv principles are so essential to the work we do. And a lot of agencies, like, that's just not that they're not great and they have their own, incredible, strategies that they're putting forward, but that's just maybe a smaller piece of the pie for them. And so, it's such an important thing for us to infuse into everything we do. So should we talk about today's brand?
Yeah. Quick housekeeping. I want to say hi to Anne and I want to say hi to Kajal.
Hey, Kajal. Hey, Anne.
I am typing back to everybody in our main daddy place, but I'm not seeing it come up on YouTube. So maybe we'll just audible back to you. And that's it. Okay, Allie, introduce the brand that we can do some more little housekeeping.
Yeah, I mean, the brand needs no introduction, I have to say. So today's brand is Fancy Feast. So we just thought it'd be really fun to fancy. There's something just so funny and charming about Fancy Feast as a brand. Yes. The iconic 1985 commercial, which, served Fancy Feast in a crystal coupe glass, or a chalice or something. And we just thought it was and obviously it's still a brand that's around today. Obviously you're, right now you have a can in your hand because
I do. Well, Elvis, I always do.
Usually in your back pocket. But
a can in your hand.
But we just thought it'd be a really fun brand to take on. So Fancy Feast, obviously gourmet cat food. They also have treats and other pieces of their brand, but we're going to kind of focus on the cat food piece today. Can't do it all in 20 minutes.
We're going to focus on the feast. Yeah. So I think this is a good example of we keep being drawn to sort of nostalgic brands. And I think that's because I think they have stayed in popularity just because of brand loyalty, which is obviously great. But I think they're usually very ripe for some surprise and a shakeup. So, Fancy Feast isn't really they're not doing Super Bowl commercials, or are they? Again, we have not done any research.
Done zero research. So
the research I've done is because, go.
I was they could be killing it and we could be coming in and making their strategy work.
So that's sort of what happened with Craisins. Ocean Spray is actually killing it. And we're who's thinking about Craisins? Turns out everybody.
Yeah. They're actually,
and we'll go ahead and take the credit.
I'd like to think it was an inspiration of our video that we dropped 2 weeks ago.
We put them on the map. Okay. A few quick reminders before we get into the brainstorm. We want you to comment along if you have ideas or if you want to yes and, or if you want to roast us, or you want to chime in or give us a challenge. We want to see your comments and ideas. That's why we're going live. We are going to be monitoring. Riverside apparently is gathering all of them in one place. Okay. We'll see. But we're mostly looking at YouTube. If you're watching this from Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook, head over to our YouTube if you want to play along and chime in. And then if anything gets,
I was gonna say, if you're watching it on Facebook or LinkedIn, hey, take a break from your political and racist rants, and can you come watch our show for a little bit? Yeah.
I mean, if you're our audience, I think the only reason you're on Facebook is Marketplace. I'm hoping you're just looking for some deals.
Yeah.
And just pop over. And then, tech reminder, if anything gets glitchy or weird, let us know. Give us this is our very first time going live, and we're trying to figure it all out, but we want it to be obviously sound good and look good. And then we are going to do a little 10-minute Q&A at the end. So if you have questions about branding, questions about us, questions about why I'm carrying cat food around, type them in. We'll let you know. The brainstorm is going to be 20 minutes. Like we say over and over again, we're going to actually set a timer this time and try to stick to it. Anything else, Al?
I mean, I think the last thing I would say is that even though we picked Fancy Feast, we currently don't have cats, but we did grow up with cats.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the only other thing I would say is that we
Yeah.
are not current cat people, but I had a cat named Rusty growing up. We called him Fat Bastard because he was such a hog. I mean, this thing was he was a stray that when my mom dropped my sister off at elementary school, he just walked up to the van and hopped right in, and we ended up with a cat. And he was a big orange cat. He was kind of a Dumbo, but just wonderful. And we had him for, oh my God, like 17, 18 years. He lived a really long time. So,
oh my gosh, your cat did live a really long time, didn't he?
He did. He lived a really long time, and he was a hoot. Yeah, I mean, but you know, I've had a dog as an adult, but I absolutely would be open to getting a cat again. How about you, Lynn?
I had cats growing up, and then I've had a dog in my adult life. So I did have to Google what do cats do just to remind myself to get some juices flowing. That's the research I did. And I was like, oh yeah, they do that. But I'm recording from my friend Meg's house, who has a cat named Elvis, who if he might come soon, but that's why. And she uses Fancy Feast. So I grabbed him. Got a lot of good flavors here, you guys. Turkey and giblets. I almost said giblets, like Kimmy Gibbler from
Kimmy Gibbler. Yeah.
You know, like that's the first thing everybody thinks of, right? Okay, Allie, I think we're gonna do a fun. We're gonna try to.
So fun. Okay,
yeah.
So
fun.
So we're gonna set a timer. So Len showed the timer. We're gonna 20 minutes.
Well, not until we sing the song.
Okay.
That's the fun thing you're gonna do.
Let's start the timer and answer the question on everyone's mind. Can they brand that? Hold on. Let me do the fun thing. It's gonna take a minute when it's live.
Just because they can doesn't mean they should. Can they brand that? Can they brand that?
We won't pull out for you guys.
I would walk down the aisle to that song if I hadn't already walked down the aisle.
That'll be your funeral procession.
Yeah, there's still other big life moments, right?
There's still life events we can jam that into.
Still time. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so set that timer. Get it cooking.
Oh yeah. Here we go. Okay, it's happening.
And if we're on a roll, don't be surprised if I tell you to add 5 on. But
don't be surprised.
If we're just coming up dry with ideas, then we'll cut this baby off in 20 minutes. Okay, can I tell you the first thing I thought of? So I know, like, on their website, they have like sampler packs of their different flavors.
Okay.
I feel like they should call it a flight of fancy. They just call it a sampler pack. Right. I feel like why wouldn't they, it just is a little wordplay, call it a flight of fancy.
A little flight of fancy. That's very cute.
That should also, they could also take that and do that as some sort of IRL like promo, or I don't know, some activation. I wonder if there's anything there, any nugget of an idea. Like a giveaway, a promo, some sort of like promo package, or I don't know. I felt like there was something simple there that you could parlay into something.
I had this in my brain, and Anne actually just commented this, that she said giblets and gimlets could be a cat cocktail collab.
Oh, cute.
And I had said that I had written down this morning that they'd be funny to do like wine and cocktail pairings for these like feasts, because they're this, and that's giblets and gimlets would be great with that. But then the flight of fancy is you could get like 4 flavors with drink pairings.
That's a fun
faux drink pairings. Like
that's
broths,
a fun activation. You could like bring your cat to the activation, and you get a cocktail, and they get giblets. You get gimlet, they get giblets. I gotta say,
yeah, I was like, do a lot of these have? Okay, there's a tender beef feast, chicken. I think there's salmon. There's lots that we could. How funny would that be if we hired like a Michelin star som, or like mixologist, like somebody who's very, very who's an expert at this, and they're like, what pairs well with, and you're like opening the can and being like,
I know. I'm trying to think of. I can't think of any. Why is every cocktail I'm thinking was like a Vesper, a sidecar? I'm just thinking of like a Tom Collins, Tomcat, Tom Collins,
Collins.
Meowgarita.
Well, with chicken.
That's great. Yeah. That's great.
Now we're talking. Okay, this sort of parlays into an activation idea I thought of that is sort of like an event, maybe influencer event for cat ladies to take back power on that phrase that usually is used as a diss on women, like they're such cat ladies.
Yep.
But we could do this cocktails and cattails, whatever. Meows and mixers. And I was thinking it could be for New Year's Eve, and we could call it Meow Year's Eve.
Meow. Oh, that's
Meow
cute.
Year's Eve. And instead of a red carpet, I was like, is it pink like a tongue, or is the carpet made of what's the scratchy stuff that cats like?
Oh, for sure. Like a cat scratch post.
Roll out. A cat scratch post is the like either the step and repeat, prance and repeat for photos, and like have a whole event that it's like, and really leaning into the like cat ladies, because obviously you come dressed to the nines, dressed to the 9 lives.
Okay. That's really
sort of
funny.
like taking back that phrase.
Is it more of like, obviously putting the fancy in Fancy Feast, right? Is it like a very high end fancy, almost like a gala style?
Yes.
Are there elements in this gala of funny cat lady tropes, or do we just not?
Yes. I think it should be fancy, cool versions, twists on those tropes.
The cat lady tropes.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, obviously, like they say, like you're going to be alone with your cats.
Yeah.
Or something. And so it's like, instead of alone, they're all, maybe that's what we call like the photo booth or something, because it's just you and your cat.
Alone with your cat.
And
That's
like,
cute. And then you get
like, yeah. What else? What are other cat lady tropes?
I know I'm blanking right now.
Yeah. But I think
I
think that would be a good one. Meow Year's Eve, a fun way to play. Although I know some cats really don't like being out in public. So that is one issue with that. So it could be a digital event where people like, the brand could send like cocktail kits and Fancy Feasts to influencers who wanted to spend the night in with their cat on Meow Year's Eve.
Okay.
Because some cats get anxiety, like not all cats want to hit the town.
I would
Alley
argue
cats do.
Alley cats do. I would argue most probably, I don't know if they're, fit for public consumption in the sense that you have to put them on a little leash. Like not every cat
likes that.
Does well on a leash. My sister has 4 cats, so I really should have had her on this brainstorm.
Yeah, no kidding.
She has.
Can we phone a friend? Can she?
She has one cat that she takes out on walks, and so he's like a dog. But yeah, the other 3 are they're a little bit. I would say homebodies. Okay, hold on. This
Kajal just said instead of a +1, you get a -1. The invite could be very, very funny.
Be so
That's
funny.
actually funny if you're staying in too. That it's like, and with a guest you get a -1, which means you can't come.
You have to stay home. Okay, that kind of spins into an idea I'm having where I guess it would also play into this like cat lady theme. But I was thinking, is there anything? Could you do like a cat, like a local like catcation or a retreat? And it's like the cat ladies get to have some sort of retreat with their cats. Like, is there anything they bring them in their little cases or anything and have any sort of,
and then it's like a cozy, or like, aren't there cat cafes that people like?
Yeah.
I guess they could host things. Maybe if you're cat curiosity did not kill the cat.
Yeah.
Or like adoption events, I guess. Come like meet some cats.
Okay.
Maybe it's like a fancy event like that. So these cats are already like you're going to go meet them, meet and mingle. And then you're out in the front.
Okay.
And there's little pass. Although I wish cats liked being out, because a waiter, like white gloved waiter with a silver tray of Fancy Feast,
like passing it around
in little goblets, would be so funny. Oh my gosh. Could they ever be really gross and do human food that is like wet like that? Like all stuff like that, but that's like edible, like pate for real.
Pate, I guess a pate would be like that. Yeah.
You could do some little iterations on it, little like salmon things. And like, I mean, it being blended would be a little gnarly. But
well, I think Fancy Feast, again, I don't know. I thought Fancy Feast had like chunks in it, right? Or was it all pate?
That's what the commercial makes you think. But as somebody who has fed Megan's cat
it's all pate.
It takes the shape of this.
Okay. I was thinking because like
it
a
keeps its shape.
stew, like you can make like a stew that's got like some chunks. Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know. They have I saw on their website they have like toppers, like little like chunks. Topper chunks.
Toppers? Oh wow.
Okay, could they collaborate with other like Tinned Fish is having such a big moment. Like Fishwife is a big brand. Like maybe Fishwife is just served at this thing because that's it right out of its little like cans.
Or like some sort of collab. Like could
caviar.
Fishwife have one of their like could they create a flavor profile or flavor palette for like a fun limited release where they like maybe have
that's cute. Like one for you, one for your cat.
Okay, can I pitch you a prompt that I haven't thought about too much?
Please.
And we did this. Is there like how can we make Fancy Feast fancier? Like take
Impossible.
that idea, Fancy Feast. That might be the end of the brainstorm. Like, is there a way to like up level the fanciness? I know obviously the original commercials had the crystal coupe, so that, and I think it was served maybe put down by a butler or some sort of
yeah.
Like,
I think so.
is there like I'm like I keep thinking like slow motion diamonds, Lamborghini. I'm like like a high. So could you do like a high? Hold on, this might be a different idea. Like a high end restaurant pop up that has like. Is it only serving cat food? Is it fancy? Is it like? Do you remember there was
like a Fancy Feast, like
a Fancy Feast,
a food truck? Oh my gosh, it should be a food truck so we can go to people's houses.
Okay,
maybe it's like a fancy like.
It's a limo. Is it like a
wheels?
Is it like a converted limo?
Stretch limo.
That would be kind
with
of
the branding on the side.
Yes. Instead of a food truck, because funny.
Because Anne was reminding me that there's a Minnesota cat tour, like a cat tour in Minnesota of a neighborhood where everybody goes, a guy like leads people and you look at cats in the window in this like Minneapolis neighborhood. That's where the limo should be. And you can like bring. Yeah. This just made me think of canned goods and then like these are canned greats. Like that's what Fancy Feast is. They're not.
Okay, hold on. Stick with the limo idea and like the food. Okay. The food limo food truck.
Yeah.
It would be so funny if it unrolled like a red carpet and like the staff came out of the lip. Like I just think that there's so much fun you can have with like
a really whole like beautiful like linens and stuff.
Everything displayed like just absolutely gorgeous. Like I guess that's so different than I was thinking like a pop-up, you dress up, you bring your cat. That's more like the activation idea we were talking about.
Yeah.
But there is something funny
I think
about
the hard part is that cats, unlike
really
dogs, are not like.
You know what's just came to me is like a tagline. I don't really know how to use it. And maybe this goes nowhere, but saying it out loud is like Fancy Feast, fancy that. You know how you go like fancy that? Like, fancy feast, fancy that. Like
fancy, or you know what it would do? It'd be like wet cat food. Fancy that. Like you're like it's like an innovation. Like you're like, or like gourmet cat food. Fancy that.
Yeah, topper. Packet of toppers, topper chunks. Fancy that.
Getting
gross. You got to think of another name for that. Jesus Christ.
Okay, I had a dumb idea in the shower this morning. That would just be for like a print ad or billboard or something. It would say, because the only thing your cat knows how to make is biscuits. When they're kneading.
Yeah.
And so it's like they can't make any of this nice stuff themselves. You have to get them Fancy Feast. They only know how to make biscuits. That's their one thing.
Can't live off biscuits alone. It's a carb heavy diet. I love it.
They need giblets. They need them bad.
Funny. Okay, hold on. I got an idea. What about a Westminster? Hold on. What about a spoof on the Westminster dog show? And it's like a Westminster cat show. But because cats are not good at being tamed or trained in the way that a dog is, like, is it a fun? I don't know if this is a commercial or if this is like a live event that you can then live stream on social. But it's like, you know what I'm picturing? I'm picturing like the announcing in the movie Dodgeball where they're kind of announcing things. It's like, oh, the cat. Oh, looks like the cat is not walking across the beam. Like they're treating it as if the cat like is following the directions and following.
Yes. They're like being satirical in their commentary.
They're being satirical in it. But like it's like a funny
similarly
cat show.
Similarly, the Super Bowl is coming up and they always do the puppy bowl. They should do the kitten bowl.
Kitten
Do they
bowl.
do the kitten bowl too? They always do the puppy bowl. Remember, you like watch them playing. It'd be so funny because kittens
actually.
can be really cute with
Yeah.
balls, but that would be February. That's timely.
Yeah, because I was
And
just
you're
keep
watching
thinking,
them be
I was just thinking like
misbehaving.
Yeah, like the announcers are trying to give the cats like the benefit of the doubt. It's just
and just always
and
being
they're
like,
just not.
wow, they're really exhibiting this. They're exhibiting their roaming behavior. Like they're just trying to
like
be
they're trying to act like
they're
what's
knocking
happening.
shit over. And they're like, these Persian cats are known for their dexterity. And they're just
and they're just lounging on like a beam or a hurdle.
I like that.
I think it would be
Anne had an idea about glamour shots. Like it was called glamour shots, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Remember that you would do like, because that's very like fancy, like faux fancy. If, with you and your cats, you could go get a glamour shot, and like the Fancy Feast brand is in the bottom. That's great.
That would be a great collab. Especially like, is glamour shots around anymore? Or are they defunct?
I don't think so. But imagine a mall pop up.
That's
like
what I mean.
Speaking of nostalgia, yeah, like in a mall.
My mom insists that she thinks the mall will come back one day. I mean, and I think that there's something to it. I think people are looking for that third space.
Yeah.
Like, you want a place
I
to
saw
go.
someone on TikTok talking about, she's like, if you could make the mall like places, all things I like want to do in an afternoon. Like, here's my Pilates studio. Here's a coffee shop I like. Here's a like I love them. I still love the mall.
Oh, the mall in the holiday time, there's nothing better. Going down the escalator and seeing Santa, it's like, oh, give me injected into my veins.
Straight. And all you're smelling Abercrombie and Auntie Anne's pretzel. It's just like
that duo
combination.
Still, something washes over my body when I smell Abercrombie. Is it what was the name of the cologne? Fierce. Yeah.
Well, they used to remember they were like shirtless and Santa hats spraying it around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My mom wrote a letter.
Really? Asking them to stop. Oh my God. My ex-boyfriend worked at Abercrombie.
My 10-year-old daughter just saw pecs.
My ex worked at. He didn't do the shirt. He wasn't one of the shirtless guys, the shirtless hunks, but
was he a sprayer?
He was a manager. At
I feel like we talked about this because y'all weren't you a sweater folder? Like I feel like because y'all worked at Abercrombie. I feel like hot people. My sister Emma worked at Abercrombie in college. I was like, oh hot. Don't tell them your mom wrote a letter in 1998. Do not put that on your resume.
Did they ever? Well, hold on. We got to stop. Did they ever write back?
Oh, I'm sure not.
Okay.
It was just like a letter to corporate, like expressing her. It's basically just like a troll Facebook comment in paper form. We have 5 minutes left.
Okay. Can we
go?
Prompt holiday campaign. Anything with holidays.
We have New Year's Eve.
Okay, we did. Meow. What do we call it?
Meow. It looks better written than spoken. Meow looks like new, but it doesn't sound like it.
Meow Year's Eve. Meow Year's Eve. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one idea. This is not formed in any way, but I keep picturing like some sort, like it's again, you know how I like to anthropomorphize animals. Like I'm picturing a gift exchange, and it's all cats having a gift exchange, but and it's like maybe it's like a white elephant, and everyone is gifting Fancy Feast. And then they're stealing it, and they're like just stealing Fancy Feast back and forth.
Based on the flavors?
Based on the flavor. Like it's a whole cat gift exchange. But it's just, that's the only gift that people have is Fancy Feast. That's all people want.
I like it.
They're stealing it back and forth. You could even, it's like a white elephant. It's so stupid.
I like that I love that they're, I guess you could also like the most classic thing is everyone else brought other brands of like dry kibble, and the one like the most stealable gift there. The one person brought the Fancy Feast.
Yeah, the Fancy Feast.
And they keep stealing it, and then they get into a cat fight.
There we go.
Caddy is another funny thing to take back of like these like cat lady caddy.
Catter Day? Don't people say Catter? I'm trying to think of like little phrase Catter Day.
Oh, your lob to me was holiday.
Holiday.
Christmas, caroling, cat.
9 lives, 9 days of Christmas. Is there like any days of Christmas? Is there playing with that?
Holiday.
The 12th day of Christmas, our tree love gave to me. Oh,
Stocking.
fancy feast. And no. Like, could you rewrite the 12 days
the
of
12
Christmas and it's
the
just
ne-
all the different
to be-
flavors?
Oh yeah, that's great.
No,
I was also
fancy
picturing
feast.
all the Christmas decor, and you're like, and the stockings were hung with care, and the cat comes and takes them down. Like you know what I mean? Like all the baubles, like this is a cat's dream is to like tear down the thing. You're trying to get festive, feline and festive.
Hold on, that's really funny. It's like it could be funny with like a song, like a beautiful holiday song playing over the background, and a cat is just destroying all the Christmas decor.
Totally, like picture like beautiful, like, and it all starts like very elegant, like the old commercial, and like they're laying out fancy feast and milk, and it just the milk is getting knocked over, like pawed over.
It could
Santa Paws. Santa Paws sounds like Claus or Santa Claus. CLAWS.
Yeah. That could be the campaign name, almost like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Wait, could you do could all the decor be made out of Fancy Feast like tin cans?
Oh,
like all the tree is decorated with Fancy Feast, old cans, and like the instead of paper chains, it's I don't know, or any baubles that are hanging,
or like even like it's just all cat themed things, like those little like cat toys. That's like what's going around the tree. Or like also, it always makes me laugh when people who have cats can only decorate their tree like the 3/4 up. So like you could really be showing this elegant stuff, and then it pans back, and you're like, they can't, like when the cats are destroying it. Anne says cats out of the bag.
Yeah, like there's so many fun phrases.
Santa, naughty and nice. That's a funny thing, but since so many cats are naughty, that you'd be like, one guess what list they're ending on.
Could you do any what's funny is like a cat burglar, like stealing Fancy Feast. I don't know how that works, but like some sort of cat, like a
imagine
cat
how
burglar.
loud that like bag they're like knocking over the thing.
Tin cans, yeah. I don't know how
how like this just made me think of our cat lady influencer party, where like it's a champagne tower. Next to the champagne tower would be like a little tower of the Fancy Feast.
And it's just all the cans stacked.
Go ahead.
Go. I was gonna say, is there anything with Curiosity Killed the Cat? I know we kind of nodded to it earlier. Like they tried other brands and now they're coming back to Fancy Feast. Like I'm trying to think, is there a way to tie it? Curiosity almost killed the cat. Like they tried other brands and they gagged and they came back to Fancy Feast.
Or they're trying to push, like they're trying to get their parents' attention every time a Fancy Feast commercial is on, and they're curious, and they can flip it to be like, Curiosity didn't actually would never kill a cat. Like
thrilled the cat.
Yeah. Thrilled, cute. That's like the PETA approved idioms.
Yeah. Okay. Feel good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could like rack my brain.
Let's just do 5 more minutes.
Okay.
See if there's anything out, because I thought of a very like the very intense what's her name, Sarah McLachlan commercials about like pet abuse and like sponsoring a pet.
Yeah.
We could do a hyperbolic one where they're like, for all you know, this is their 9th life. Treat them like some very funny thing about like, you better give them, like, this could be their 9th life.
This could be their 9th life. Yeah.
So you got to give them the best food. That's it. That's where that ends.
Nothing like depressing your
like faux depressing. It'd be faux depressing.
No, I know. But it's like it's got to be black and white. It's got to be shot in black and white. It's got to be.
Yeah. And actually, the funny thing would be that like the cat is already spoiled. So instead of footage of like suffering animals that need homes, it's just like a cat in a gorgeous bed, a cat like getting all this stuff, and you're like, save this cat. Give him Fancy Feast. Like the only hard thing in his life is that he's eating hard food, like kibble.
Okay.
Anti-kibble.
Because it is just wet food.
I mean, they have like 3 things of dry, but I think wetter is better. Wet is their focus.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. A cat like
wetter than the rest.
Cats in the boardroom at Fancy Feast was just like all that's written on the whiteboard is just like wet.
I had a idea and I didn't even say it because I didn't know how to pitch it, but I was like, I keep picturing cats around a boardroom table ideating something, and I didn't know what it was. That could be it though. That's perfect. Okay, can we get Iggy Azalea for like I'm so fans? Is that her that sings that? I'm so fans.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I wrote that too, because then I also was thinking Reba McEntire has a song just called Fancy. So we could do like music videos. It's like an old one from the 80s.
She could be so fancy. Dun, 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 dun. I don't have any.
All the cats.
There's no real vision behind that.
That's...
Hold on, you just said that. Oh, you know what I was picturing when you were saying the last thing you were saying about, it could be their 9th life. This isn't the same idea, but I keep picturing that when you open the tin can, it goes from like black and white to color, kind of how the Wizard of Oz transitions. That's like all of a sudden life is in Technicolor and
which is funny because you're like, oh, this poor, like very pampered cat. Like, oh,
I know
life can get any better is if they have this.
Is there okay? Go ahead.
I was thinking tied to the wetter thing about like owning the word moist. Like that can be their thing, like shirts with moist, like cat sweater, like just because like everything is so wet. That's where that
I think
and then
that
it's like what other things are better moist than dry. So it's like, why would you like dry food is like, or like humans getting a bunch of dry versions of their food at a fancy restaurant in a commercial, and they're like, you wouldn't eat it. Like,
why
you don't
should
want
they?
Dry bits of steak. You should get canned steak.
I do think it's funny, the idea of them having a moist campaign. It's a risk, but I think it could be really funny. I do think that there's something that like subversive about that people would latch onto. Like they're, especially because they'd be in on the joke, right?
Yeah.
What about the what's that phrase? Like go wherever the fancy takes you, go wherever your fancy takes you, or the fancy takes you. Like, is there any fun like a dreamscape sequence where it's like a cat fantasizing about like kind of their
dream life? All like, Dream 9 lives.
And it's like, everything's made out of like, it's all cat towers and it's like scratching posts and it's whatever. And then it's obviously they're being served fancy feasts. Like that is part of their like dreamscape. Go wherever your fancy takes you.
Tied to that, we could do a decades campaign and show like a cat. I don't know when this came out, but like just pretend we could like even do it silly, like a cat in the 1920s and they're getting fancy feasts, a cat in the 1980s, and everything's like very stereotypical. And then like the line is the preferred food in every life. So it's like 9, we could do 9 different ones, or like
oh, that's fun.
The 20s, the 10s, the aughts, the 90s, like and go down.
That's funny. That's good.
Like the preferred food in every life. That's sort of cute.
It would be funny to have that be really hyperbolic in terms of like what their 9 lives look like really distinct, really absurd. The pirate,
because it could be right, because it's like maybe it's the same cat that's been reincarnated, and so it's like in like crazy eras where this food didn't exist, but like and they finally found it or something.
I saw
one last
no, I mean, Lyndsay, all I was going to say is I saw a not a psychic, but I don't know, it's intuitive or something one time, and she told me, she goes, you were a prince in a former life. I was like, oh, was I? I was a prince.
You were a prince? Well, were you eating fancy? How fancy were you? I could see you being a prince.
Did we squander all our wealth? Where's my?
Did I like murder some people? Did I conquer somebody that I shouldn't have?
That was my fall from grace. Okay, say your last idea.
My last one, less important than what you just said.
Of course.
That they should do a collab with either like Tiffany or Waterford Crystal and remake the exact, like make a very specific thing that you buy to serve in fancy feasts. Like how fancy are you? Like a really expensive crystal or like sterling silver keepsake piece, and you can like get their name engraved on it, or like have the crystal, and that's like there's a limited edition and people like freak out and whatever. Like I think that'd be a really funny collab because it's so
I think it's really cute. I used to serve Moki, my dog. I had like crystal bowls that I put her, because I wanted them to look aesthetically like, nice in my house. So I had these like beautiful colored glass bowls that I would put her food in. I would have bought that, an engraved bowl with.
And also like what a good gift, even if you wouldn't have bought it for yourself, wouldn't you buy that as a gift for somebody of like this, your beloved pet like deserves the best. And then it comes with like fancy feast a month's worth or something.
Coming in like a velvet. like a beautiful box, like a velvet, in like a velvet case or something. Like it's got a gorgeous presentation.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like you open it up and there could be like a serving spoon that's like silver and small. And
Could
a
you
little
have
can opener.
your pets, like your cat's face etched on it, or their name or their face etched on it?
Like cute. Oh, live portraits at Petrits, pet portraits at the influencer event would also be good. Like live watercolors of the two of you. And it's like watercolor because moist is, but that's how we tie it all back together.
Moist,
the moistest kind of art that there could be.
Shooting moist t-shirts out of a t-shirt gun. Okay, should we do mascot o'clock? Okay, hold on, let me play.
Oh my gosh, we might have to skip mascot o'clock and go into Q&A because it's 12:45.
It's okay. Who cares?
Okay.
I think it's fine.
Mascot. I hadn't even play the mascot o'clock song.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Mascot o'clock.
I love that I can play these jingles.
So cool. You're like a little DJ.
I mean, I really didn't have any
scratching.
I just bagged to do mascot o'clock and I really didn't have any ideas. I just was thinking, like, is there fun? Like, could you make the butler who serves and waits on his cats like any sort of a mascot?
Yeah.
Is there I'm like thinking the Aristocats. Like, you could bring in the Aristocats and do any sort of. That's not like a true mascot, but that's more like.
But they are like they were fancy.
They kind of are the epitome because it's like, what are they? Duchess, Marie Toulouse, and Berlioz or something.
Oh,
Those
wow.
are like
I
the
don't
little
remember.
cats.
I don't remember.
Well, my daughter's into it right now.
Oh, cute.
But you could do something like that. But the butler, I keep thinking the butler would be a funny non-cat mascot.
It'd be really good. Yeah. A chef, anything that like elevates it to seem like he's just like
he's kind of at the beck and call of these.
Oh, a private chef. That's even funnier.
Mm-hmm.
I was picturing like tied to like the way to introduce this chef mascot would be like watching him go through culinary school, but it's cat culinary school.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And he's like getting berated by like a, you know what I mean? Or like
a Gordon Ramsay
show,
type.
something we always
Yeah.
Yeah, but Gordon Ramsay, and he's like wetter. It needs to be wetter. And he finally graduates and then he gets his dream job, which is to cook for cats.
That's beautiful. What an origin story.
Like,
but that's
the
butler
funny, feels really funny.
But those are funny. Like that's funny to play with that.
For some reason, if it's a butler, I never want to see his face. I want the gimmick to be that we like see it neck down and just his hands serving things and wearing gloves.
And his apron and his white gloves.
Wait, speaking of a chef, Ratatouille being in the chef's hat, a rat against a cat. That feels there's something there. I don't know.
Imagine if the cat found out that Ratatouille was the one cooking his fancy feast?
Yeah, he'd be pissed.
It might be a turning point in his life though. His whole life he's had issues with mice and rats, and this could really be a healing moment.
Oh my gosh. Someone just said the butler from Downton Abbey. Downton Tabby.
Downton
Tabby cat.
Yeah. That's funny. That's a funny
We didn't even get a chance to play on the types of cats that there are. Like calico and
I keep thinking of celebrities, like any spokespeople. I keep thinking Cat Williams. I just love him so much.
I thought of Cat Stevens, but
yeah,
who's no longer with us. Cat Williams. There's lots of famous cat. I mean, anyone who's like Catherine, we could think like who's a very classically
Catherine
who would never go by Cat, that is very fancy, that we could be like, she goes by Cat now. Catherine O'Hara.
Or like Hepburn. I mean, she's passed away, but Catherine Hepburn is who I was.
Yeah.
She has like an elegance to her. Catherine.
Wait, is Catherine O'Hara is Schitt's Creek iconic Catherine O'Hara, right?
Yeah.
She would be hysterical.
She'd be so fun.
Because she would never go by Cat. I don't feel like she's so fancy. And so she'd be like, I decided they could call me Cat just this one, just for this one thing. Like that's in her thing. That's really funny.
Okay. I think do you have any other mascot ideas? I'm kind of cooked on those. Cufflinks the cat. Is there a cat mascot? Cufflinks. Is it like a fancy name?
Cufflinks. Yeah, the cat. A dog could be like any of their adversaries, a dog, a mouse, a bird, a goldfish. I think we did it though.
Yeah.
I think those like few are really
nailed
funny.
it.
Or like, didn't you say earlier, cat burglar? That's funny.
Yeah,
and he's always trying to steal the food.
It's got a very it's very burglar-esque.
Hamburglar. Yeah.
Okay. Should you do hired or fired?
Okay. Sure.
Gotta remember what we talked about.
I know I'm firing myself for, I had one thing that I just said and then I had nothing to back it up.
I think I blacked out. I don't remember. Oh, hold on. I just had an idea. Really, it's hold on. I'm probably going to fire myself for this immediately. Footloose and fancy free. Kevin Bacon. Is there anything? Footloose?
Oh, Footloose.
Is it like I don't know. Cats dancing.
Oh my gosh. And like the town, what is the town band? The town band's Kibble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the town band's Fancy Feast, and they're all desperate. And so they have to go like under speakeasies. Squeakeasies. Cats don't speak.
Okay, anyway, it might be fired for that idea, but there could be something there. We brainstormed it. Hired, I think. Lyndsay, I can't think of freaking anything. This is how I am on regular kind of brand. I'm like blank.
I mean, I feel like
leave it all on the dance
influencer
floor.
event is good. I think the influencer event is a hired. I
agree.
think the moist thing is a hired.
I think
I love all the mascot ideas.
I think there's something funny with like a cat show that is just a spoof on a dog show, but worse.
The Kitten Bowl or the Cat
Kitten
Show,
Bowl, something like that. I think a Flight of Fancy, like having them just. Oh, I think the limo, like the activation where it's instead of a food truck, it's a limo.
Yeah, yep, I like that too. Cat crawl, maybe. It's like that.
Some of these ideas, I feel like they have overlap in a nice way. Like they could.
Yeah, a lot of them all like come back together beautifully. I also think a very funny visual of like decorating for Christmas and the cat like destroying everything is just a funny thing to me. Yeah, I don't think there were a lot of hireds. I liked a lot of these. I like the fancy crystal goblet collab. I like. Yeah.
Okay. I like the glamour shot. I think the glamour shot idea is really funny.
Glamour shots is in the mall. Like I think heightening, like cats are fancy. Cat ladies need to be fancier.
Yeah.
That's something somebody said. I think that's like smart. Oh, the cocktail collabs, giblets and gimlets. Meowgarita. We didn't really go that into it. An old fashioned.
It's hard to get like bank through these
ideas. Oh, whiskey instead of whiskers. We could come up with a whole menu of those like crossovers.
Yeah, whisker sour. Yeah, we do like something like that.
That's cute.
That's cute. Okay. Should we do a little That's it. That's a wrap on the brainstorm. I like
that's a wrap on the brainstorm.
That was so live, Lynn.
Fun. I like it live too. We had a couple fun little people chiming in.
The pain in the ass the setup is to get on all these platforms. I think I'm liking it.
Yeah. Should I try to troll? Do you think there's anyone that has said anything anywhere else?
I don't know.
We're going to do a couple cues. You want to look on LinkedIn and I'll look on Instagram?
Look on LinkedIn.
I know. I got to choose the one platform that is near and dear to your heart.
Oh, LinkedIn. I used to love LinkedIn back in the day. It's like a hellscape now. Let's see.
Aren't they all?
I know. Danny just messaged.
I'm so fancy.
He was watching.
Danny.
I don't know where though. Danny, I love.
Where? Probably Facebook, you freak.
Probably. Oh my God. Let's see. Okay. We're still kicking on LinkedIn.
I think I would have seen it because I think this
does it aggregate
pulled them all over from YouTube. I don't know. It's the public chat and the side sort of did, but I don't think
we're getting reactions, but no like questions or anything.
On LinkedIn?
Okay.
Oh, thanks, guys.
LinkedIn
Let's just do a handful.
Let's just do a couple Q&A. We got a couple that have come in, so
I'm looking on our live. You want to read anything? Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, one was someone asked us, like, what's a common mistake you see new brands make? A million. Where do we start?
How many lives do you got?
I guess my first thought is just there's so many ways we could take this question, I guess. But the first thing is that when like an individual comes to us, they have like a new concept and they have a name that they've kind of come up with and it's not good. It's like maybe they came up with it and their friends all think it's really strong, or their wife or husband or something, but it's pretty weak. And it's just, the idea is like a name doesn't do everything, but it positions your brand. That is like a foundation that the entire brand gets built on, right? Like the voice of the brand, the perspective of the brand, the lines of copy, the tagline, the visual styling is reflective a lot of times of the name, or the name could be just like, influential and inspiration for an angle, a shtick, a whatever. And when the name is really weak, that's, I think, really unfortunate. And it's funny, really we've always done naming as part of our brand development, but the last couple of years we've started being a lot more overt about our perspective that we think people should change their names. And we've been kind of throwing it in on, I wouldn't say on the house, but like we've been really encouraging
we'll carve out part of their scope that already exists,
the scope and go like, hey, we have to review this name. Like you're just not starting from the strongest perspective. Like there's so many other names that could be stronger or more interesting or more engaging, or sometimes people have names that are already trademarked by other adjacent industries and they're not considering that. So like there are so many things that I think could go awry if you don't start it, like even from that place in a strong, considered way.
Yeah, I think that's just a really, really common one. And also tied to that is that naming is at the same time one of the most subjective things. And so a client has fallen in love with it because they've said it a bunch of times, so they're familiar with it. And then they're like, no, I really think it's good. But we are big believers that, and it's true, I mean, there's data to back it up, that consumers make emotional decisions when they're buying. And so like if a name like doesn't do anything to, like if a name doesn't give anybody any sort of emotion, certainly we would hope it would indicate like what it is that they're doing or that they're offering. But if it's like, this like has no vibe, good luck.
Yeah.
So
agree.
Name is a big one. Okay, we just got one that says, who's your dream client?
Oh, that's a good one. Oh man, I've never even really thought about who is my dream client. What about you, Lyndsay?
I'll say this. I actually think this is so like, I'm a pick me. I think my dream client doesn't exist yet. And I mean that to say this year, especially, we've really, the majority of our clients are startups that like are coming to us when they're like, we need a name, we need an identity, we need like, this is my business idea, but I don't know how to like turn it into a brand. And we say that a lot, like you don't have a business or you don't have a brand, you just have a business. And so like, I'll just say category wise, because we work primarily with CPG startups. I would love to do a like THC company, like gummies or drinks. I think that like we did a Can They brand that for Houseplant, Seth Rogen's THC company, and that was like really fun. I think that's like a category that I think would be fun, or an NA beverage. I mean, we've already done a THC beverage, but like I think like that was one that's here in Nashville, so it's like I think I would love to do like one in Illinois, Colorado, California, like a dispensary, like gummies. Yeah. What about you? Got anything?
Well, I'm going to take this question in a little bit different of a direction. In terms of who's my dream client, like anyone that gives us carte blanche that we can, because we actually have really good clients, and especially one right now that is really, he has said yes to every single idea we have pitched him. And he is, I fawn over him all the time and go like, you have no idea how refreshing it is to work with someone who lets us just cook creatively and like push things to the limit and like really give you our best ideas and take some risks here in like, obviously strategic and calculated ways. But when someone lets us just be as fun and wild and innovative and creative as we can be, like that is, and we've had multiple clients over the years that have really allowed us to kind of go bananas on their brand. But I think that is like kind of my broad answer. I don't know why the brand that I'm going to say came to me. I was like, Caboodle would be really like, I was thinking of like a nostalgic brand. Like I would love
Yeah.
to like a Glamour Shot, a Caboodle. Like
Yeah.
there's something fun about the era that we kind of grew up when they were at their height. It
Yeah.
would be fun as an adult to revisit that and try to capture some of that magic again.
Yeah. I like that. And like
Espe-
we haven't done a kids. We did a diaper brand, a diaper bag startup, but like kids stuff sort of teeing into the Caboodle thing. I think
Yeah.
would be really fun.
It'd be really fun. That's a great question. Do you want to do one more?
Yeah. Let's do one more. I see. I don't know if we're gonna like this, but should every brand be funny? You've had to answer this 1,000 times on client calls.
Freaking 1,000 times. I think every brand should be entertaining. And I think every brand should have personality. Every brand should be likable, engaging, interesting, exciting, and humor is an awesome vehicle to take you there. And humor is, it is such a broad playground in terms of what is humor, what is funny, right? Like you could be direct, bold, you could be dry, you could be sarcastic, you could be hyperbolic, you could be witty and clever, you could be more polarizing and it could be more blue humor. Like there's just 1,000 ways to bake a brand in humor that I think every brand could be some iteration of humor, because I ultimately think people who are funny, just like brands that are funny or brands that are entertaining, are likable. Like it's got a good personality. You're good natured. You're engaging and enjoyable to be around. So I think like, why wouldn't your brand want that? Now there are some brands that want to be very like austere and posh, but I still think you could be clever and witty. Like I don't think you have to be void of personality.
Yeah. And then I also think there's dimensions to it in the sense of if you're like a luxury brand, for example, does your name and your like website and your tagline and does that kind of stuff have to be like funny? Not necessarily. Would there be a lot of room for surprise in an ad campaign, in an activation to be to break out of that box a little bit? Like I think you'd have a real opportunity there to like, because it's like every audience segment has their own inside jokes. Even people who like luxury items still like have their own sensibility of what is interesting and funny and surprising and delightful. So I think leveraging it in different channels or in different moments and opportunities I just still think it's a valid choice. I think it's not just valid, it's like a very successful strategy for nearly anyone.
I agree. Because I think when people think funny, they think slapstick, they think
wacky,
they think, they think silly. And it's like there are just so many different directions you could take it. So yeah, I agree with you. Someone said, well, I can answer this last one. Thoughts on deviled egg pizza? Oh, I didn't even know that existed.
Never heard of such a thing. But I love deviled eggs. Where do you stand on deviled eggs, Allie? I feel like you're going to be a no for that.
No, I'm like middle of the road. I would eat one, but some people go like bonkers when they see a deviled egg.
Yeah, some people are like, there's no limit to how many they can eat.
My really sweet, she's actually my cousin, but I call her my aunt. She's in her late 70s. She lives in Chicago. Whenever she comes to visit, she always brings homemade deviled eggs, and they're good. I'll have one, but she brings like 35. I'm like, I'm not gonna plow through these babies, but she's a delight.
This isn't happening. Yeah,
but on pizza, I don't think I like it on pizza.
Unless
there was pizza?
I was just trying to think if the sauce had some sort of like mustardy component. And I mean, people do fried eggs on pizzas, like unless it was some like interesting take of not like literal cold deviled eggs.
This cold ass plopped on your pizza in place of pepperoni.
Just in their perfect like form. Okay. Or what about pizza deviled eggs? Now, if you could make like little tiny, like little pepperoni, like as I like when deviled eggs get a little spicy
flair.
And fun.
Okay.
I'll flip you. I'll flip it.
Okay. Great.
Well, we did it. It's been an hour.
1 hour. Look at us go.
That was so fun.
That was great.
We're like, it's a 20-minute brainstorm. Here we are.
But we did. We did 25 minutes on the brainstorm, but we had a little We had to set
That was
up. We
hard.
had an intro.
It's
we
too
had to
fast.
schmooze. Thoughts on
too
Emily in
fast.
Paris? I have no thoughts. I don't watch it. Linz, do you?
My issue with Emily in Paris, I only watched the first season, and it was when they really did her dirty, Lily Collins, because they gave her like horrendous hair extensions. So it was so distracting. That's
I love Phil Collins though, you know.
Yeah, but apparently he was a terrible. They're estranged. He was a terrible dad.
Oh, really?
I'm going to bring this. I'm going to end this on it.
End it dark.
Also, Allie, you'll like this because you speak French. Everyone was like, Emily in Paris doesn't even rhyme, but like Emily in Paris.
A Paris. Yeah.
And everyone was
like, I speak French. So that is the most loaded statement.
It seems plausible because of your last name.
I took it in high school and a year in college.
As somebody who's fluent.
Someone who's fluent. And I was going to do the Can They Brand That in French. And I was like, oh, Lyndsay won't get it. I can't play with her.
Lyndsay a plebe, not fancy enough. That's my problem.
Okay. Then I think we call it. And man, are we going to
catch you later?
Yeah, catch you later. Are we going to do the next one live, or are we going to do the next one?
Yeah, I think same time, same place next.
I think
next
so.
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
I'm making the call right now.
Yeah, we're going to go live again.
Yeah, message us what brands we should do.
Perfect. Sauces shuka, she said, on the pizza, or the deviled eggs. I think.
Oh, right, because shuka has eggs in it. All right, I'm interested. Where is this pizza? Where can we get it?
I know.
I don't know where she's located. Keep us posted. Now I'm going to Google deviled egg pizza.
Yummy.
Okay. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye, everyone.
See you next time.